If you are a comic collector, it is so important for you at times to release them from the cardboard coffins that you have sentenced them to. That's what this video is about. This is mainly just a celebration of the mutants I've collected over the past few years, looking at what we have obtained and the stories behind them. So a lot of these books I'm going to share with you guys today have some great stories, and some of them could be educational, and some of them are just some pretty wild events that led me to some incredible books. With all of that being said, let's dive in. All right, first box up. We're going to do this director commentary style. I had some mic troubles, but that's okay. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you can. You guys know the drill. So XMen 20 here. What this box is my attempt at, like a lot of comic collectors, is getting every issue in X-Men Volume 1. Of course, you know, who wouldn't love to own that? I think I'm about 55 or 60 issues short of that. This is my lowest issue that is not graded, so X-Men 20. Got another one coming up later in the video that is graded, and I do have the entire Claremont run, which is I definitely think a huge accomplishment, but there's a story behind it that will be told very shortly that's amazing. That was a gorgeous Barry Windsor-Smith cover. Yeah, the story behind the X-Men Claremont portion of my collection is just kind of outstanding and really led to the thumbnail and why I hold so much value to this box of books here. So that right there is X-Men 66. That's the last issue before they started doing reprints, and then they did not stop doing reprints until Chris Claremont entered the game in issue number 94, where he brought the new X-Men team. So this is the second appearance of Colossus, Nightwing, Jesus, Nightcrawler, Storm, third appearance of Wolverine, third full appearance of Wolverine. Pretty cool, gorgeous book. There's a sad story behind this book here. So this book here was probably maybe a 5.0, had a 3-inch tear in the back, and well, it doesn't look like 3 inches anymore. I made it about a 6-inch tear. So as careful as you think someone could be going into a book that is noticeably torn and tries to clean it, you can always be even more careful. I created this tear, made it even worse. Almost ripped the damn thing off the back of the book. I'm laughing at it now because I've accepted this as my reader copy, and there's a very nice silver lining that comes out of this. But also, don't put tape on your book if you still want to get it graded. Tape actually lowers the grade of the book. If I were to get this graded, I would be better off just leaving the piece dangling for its life. It would get a higher grade than with tape on it. So anyway, tore the book to shit. And I was like, you know what? I was like, this is my reader copy. And what I started to do, I was like, I want to read the entire Claremont run issue for issue, single issues. And I would put on 70s music. And I would find out what the hit songs were during the week that issue was released. And I would put that on, and then I would just start reading like a kid who just got the book out of his pharmacy, you know, rolled it up, put it in his back pocket, got home, went into his bedroom and put on his record player. That's exactly what I did for a lot of this. And it is a different type of experience. Music while reading is a gorgeous thing if you haven't tried it yet. It was a series that I was doing where I would say whatever issue came out and what the song that was popular when it came out. So this was a lot of fun to do. And still a great book. Still looking for a super high grade copy that I can slab. But, okay, so the amazing story that goes behind the, we'll call it 75% of my collection, and what led to the thumbnail, is I went to a guy's house to do a collection purchase, and it was about 35 short boxes. And on the way there, I do remember him telling me there's a lot of X-Men in it. And so we got there, we started talking and hitting it off, and I'm going through the books, and I'm like, wow. I was like, you have a lot of X-Men comics here. And he says, well, he's like, it's really hard for me to let go of these and include these in the collection, but I have to. But he said, when I was a kid, he said, I had a lot of trouble reading, and he's like, I just couldn't grasp it. And the X-Men comic books were the only thing that allowed my mind to grasp the concept of just simple reading. And he learned how to read by reading the X-Men comic books, and particularly that Chris Claremont run. And I said, man, that's amazing. I said, if it makes you feel better, if you include the X-Men books in this purchase, quote unquote, I will never sell them. I will always keep them. I will pass them down to my kids, which I intend to do. but I will never ever sell them. I will read them, and yeah, I'm gonna try my best to continue on the legacy, and I haven't. I've never sold a single issue. Of course, I was working on the run myself, and I had some of them, but this guy completed the entire thing plus gave me duplicates. So I took my duplicates out, I sold those, and I kept all of his books. So kind of an amazing story. I felt honored that he thought of me as a person that could be worthy enough to, take hold of his collection and kind of keep it going. And yeah, so if you listen to this, I really appreciate it. I've never sold any of your books, and I never will. And my kids are going to get them someday. So gorgeous. I love all this stuff. John Byrne, great covers. The colors are vibrant. The stories are just kind of changing comics at this point. It's amazing. Really good stuff. All right, this one's pretty cool here. So during my reading venture, well, I get to this issue, pull it out the bag, I open up the front cover, and some little kid, I guess, scribbled on the inside splash page. I don't know. No, that's not a little kid. That's Chris Claremont's signature. So very excited to see that. And yeah, really cool. Not going to send it in to get verified or graded or anything like that. Just going to leave it as it is. But pretty awesome. Love that John Byrne Wolverine cover. Something about John Byrne Wolverine that just, I don't know, it's just good. It's really, really good. All right, cool story behind the next couple of books here. So, X-Men 129, first appearance of Kitty Pryde. This is my reader copy. I have a graded copy that you'll see later, but this comes from a seller that I bought long distance online, and he basically just sent me a bunch of photos, and it was like, hey, I'm trying to get rid of these X-Men books I don't want them anymore. They were his personal copies, and they were just really beat up. The grade on this is super low. And I was like, man, I said, the condition's terrible. I said, I'll give you my best offer. I said, if you don't want to let him go for that price, I completely get it. I think I shot him an offer for, I think it was $150 for something like 20 issues. This was one of them. And so he sends me the issues, and they get to me. And lo and behold, when I open them up, well, they're Mark Jewelers. All of them. All of them are Mark Jeweler variants. And I do love Mark Jewelers, so I pretty much kept a majority of them. So there it is. First appearance of Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde in a Mark Jewelers variant. I always thought, too, if you're going to have some sort of reader copy and you like Mark Jewelers, a low-grade Mark Jewelers is the best reader copy that you could hope for. Because if you slab a Mark Jewelers variant, what makes it unique is just you can't get to it. You can't see it. Now, if it is a high-grade copy, 9.4 or higher, like really high-grade, then I would slab that. But yeah, if it's not super high grade, then just leave it as a reader. They're great. They're fun to look through. First appearance of Taylor Swift in comics right here. Nice book. And then this is the other one that is a Mark Jewelers variant. First Wolverine solo story. I love this book. I really want a 9.8 copy of this book. One day. One day. And coming up next, we've got Emma Frost, first cover. I think I'm checking to see if that's Mark Jewelers, but it's not. And you got all the Dark Phoenix Saga starting, and just some really classic stuff. Hellfire Club. Death of Jean Grey. Or a Phoenix, rather. Alright, we got a nice box of books here. This is all mutants that are going to CGC that have not been graded yet. Starting off with, these are in no particular order, so anything can pop out at any time. House of M, I think it's a 1 in 20 variant. Love that cover. That right there, Avengers Annual 10. High grade newsstand, got from my buddy Lost Eden Comics on Instagram. Great seller. If you continue to buy from him, he does give you great deals. The deals get better and better. So I definitely recommend start building your rapport with him and get some great books. Death of Wolverine, beautiful cover. 9.8 pre-screen on that. Some of these are going to be 9.8 pre-screen. This will be a 9.8 pre-screen XMen Origins Deadpool. Then you've got the pretty scarce Origin of Gambit as well. Hard to find book. Origin of Magneto. This is a certain type of variant. It's not Canadian price variant, I don't think. But it's a certain. I gotta look. I got a few of these in here. I gotta look and see the difference in that variant. First Ileana Rasputin, high grade copy. Maybe a 9.6, 9.8 candidate. That's gonna be a 9.8 pre-screen. That's Storm Anniversary Edition. New Mutants 14. This would be a 9.8 pre-screen. Love this. I got a few good Cable Deadpool covers coming up. Yeah, look how badass. Like, that's just a great cover. I feel like that cover's underrated. Cable Deadpool 1. All of this would be 9.8 pre-screen. Great cover there. Great cover there. And then we've got Alpha Flight. This is the first appearance of Talisman. This would be a 9.8 pre-screen as well. And if they're 9.8 pre-screen, they have a pretty high chance of getting it. New Mutants First Legion. Newsstand Wolverine 2. That would be a sneakily pricey book in a 9.8. Love this. I think that's a Gabrielle Del Auto cover. Venomize, Laura Kinney. That's great. And then you've got awesome Reservoir Dogs homage cover. Greatness. What I think is one of the most underrated books, reprints, is this right here. This is the first American reprint of Hulk 180 and 181. So not only is it the first reprint, but it's the only book that you can definitively say this is his first full appearance in the reprint form. Takes out all the argument. Full version. Love this book. This is the final issue, and this is issue 21. This is a Phil Nato cover. Gorgeous, gorgeous book. Pretty scarce. Not too scarce, but pretty scarce. This is the first appearance of the Honey Badger, which is Gabby's pet, Honey Badger. And this one I forgot what the significance was of this. All right. Trying to get in the habit of doing this because I'm pretty sure it's going to go this route. First, Kamala Khan. They're going to write her a mutant. Your girl from Miss Marvel. What's her name? Aman Vellani, if I'm saying that correct. She's writing the comic. I love that. I think that's great that she's writing comics. She really is a really true fan, and she's excited to write the comic. So, you know what? If she's retconning, if she's saying she's a mutant, I'm for it. It's fine. And that's the first appearance of Miss Marvel. And then you've got NYX. Okay, great story here. I got this book for about $2 or $3. It's probably about a 7.0, 8.0. But a guy reached out to me saying he found some books in a warehouse, and he saw that I bought comic collections. So he invites me over, come check it out. I pull up. It's sketchy as hell. The guy flags me down in the middle of the road, directs me back to behind somebody else's house. He was kind of living out their garage, like renting it. And so I get in there, he's got boxes of comics, I start going through them, I make a stack, and when I get to him, he decides, he's like, I'm not selling you any of the old books, because I want to do more research on these. I was like, okay. I was like, well, first when I came across the NYX, I lost my shit. And then I was like, well, how much for the new stuff? He goes, $20. So I picked it up. First Wolverine high grade, first Deadpool solo series high grade, first Gambit solo series newsstand high grade. Ongoing series. I'm sorry, not solo series. First ongoing series. Here's another Origin of Magneto. This would be very high grade. Probably a 9.8 pre-screen. Love this cover. This is Bill Sienkiewicz. Disney Weirdness. This is so great. This is going to go in a 9.8 pre-screen. I think that book will look great in a slab. Same thing with this, man. These are great covers. Love this cover. Art Adams. Pretty sinister looking Emma Frost cover. Very, very wicked. Kind of reminds me of Dream Warriors. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. First Gabby. Another foil version. First Moira McTaggart. This book's hard to get in high grade. This is a decent copy. It might be like a 7.5, 8.0 maybe. Origin of Colossus. This is in really good shape. I just got to remove some foxing from it. This right here, I just love this cover, this is extremely high grade. It's like one of those, if I press it well, it's like, okay, could I get a 9.9? First appearance of Forge, but it's a Mark Jewelers variant, which is pretty cool. And also extremely high grade, 9.8 candidate. First cover appearance of Mr. Sinister, a couple of copies. One's a newsstand, one's not. Awesome cover here. High grade. So a couple of the, I believe these are second prints. I don't think these are Pressman variants. I think they're second prints of Jim Lee's first work on the X-Men. 9.8 pre-screen on that one. Days of Future Past Part 2, pretty high grade copy. Another origin of Wolverine. Another origin of Magneto, and I think I'm trying to figure out why do I have so many copies of this book in here? Okay, second appearance of Gambit, but the book to get, nonetheless. I do think that this is the second appearance. Now, this book here, the colors on it are insane. So look, by comparison, how crazy the colors are. And yes, I have a few issues of this. But, so I want all of these for their own separate reasons. So the first two on the right, the two direct, those are 9.8 candidates. And then the left is a pretty high-grade newsstand. And then the far left, the colors just pop like crazy. So I'm probably going to sell one of those directs, and I don't know. I may or may not keep the other ones. But yeah, definitely a great book to get. Obviously, from my hometown. Not really. I mean, kind of, but first Hellfire Club, very high grade. First Shadow King, very, very high grade. This is maybe a 9.8 candidate. You got some awesome Dark Phoenix stuff. I'm pretty sure that one's really high grade as well. If it's in this box, it's either very notable or very high grade. That one is not super high grade. That XMen 101. Sound like it's a new costume. First Marauders, got a couple of these. Got a few of them. First Mr. Sinisters, those are 9.6, 9.8 candidates. That book has dropped so much in price. It's crazy. Love this book right here. This is the Pressman variant of, is this Death of Jubilee? No. Yeah, I think it is. Pressman variant, gold cover, really cool. We all know this book here. I found 3 of these a week before the news was released, where that book blew up. Second print, love this book. I think that's an underrated book in a 9.8, high grade newsstand. And then this book here, I run into at my local Walgreens. I just can't get away from this damn book. That's the first full appearance of Bishop. And it's always in high grade when I find it too. Don't know why that's in here. Literally cannot remember. First Dakin, normal cover. Not the third claw cover. That'd be great. We all know this book. Great book there in a 9.8, which I think it is. Wolverine 1, pretty high grade. First Onslaught, newsstand, hopefully a 9.8. This is Punisher War Journal. Great Jim Lee cover. First Apocalypse, 9.8 candidate. Another Onslaught. Those Onslaught books. Why there's even in there. It's going to be a high-grade copy, not going to be a 9.8. Might be a 9.2, 9.4. I'll take it for the time being. First appearance of Deadpool. Come on. And it's a newsstand. That's probably like a 8.0, 8.5 copy. Another one of them. Great Jim Lee cover in a newsstand, super high grade. New Mutants #1, first cameo appearance of Alpha Flight. I love that cover, all the snow on it, it's great. First full appearance of Alpha Flight, both of those in good enough condition to get graded. First cameo appearance of Apocalypse, first solo Dazzler series, first Omega Red newsstand, high grade. Second appearance of Sabretooth, I think a highly underrated book, and this is really, really high grade as well. This cover is gorgeous, and this cover is also a newsstand. I'm not going to take it out to show it, but it's a newsstand, and this in a 9.8 last sold for a lot of money. I can't remember what it was. First Laura's solo series, and then you got 2 of the first Gambit's annuals. One of those was a newsstand. That's his first ongoing series. First Lady Deadpool. Got that for a great deal on eBay. I think like $20, $30. Alpha Flight #1, super high grade. X-Men Adventures #1. New Mutants 89, first Cable. With the colors that... So I got 2 of them, and they're both the vibrant color variants, I call them. Kind of similar to that Gambit book. The colors on them are just crazy. This I got for a great deal, I think, on my LCS. First, Mr. Fix-It. Jim Lee in a newsstand. Great cover. Then you've got the other portions of the Wolvie series. Issue 4, Issue 2. Both of those are very high grade. First Dakin cover. First appearance of these 2 dicks fighting. This is great. This in a high grade 9.8 would be great. That is a newsstand copy. Man, that would be so awesome in a 9.8. And then you got a X-Men 128. I forget the significance of that one. Oh, and this one I pulled out because I forgot to show it during my Slab reveal, which is coming up next. This is Wolverine #3, obviously. Signed and remarked by Chris Claremont. I do not agree with this grade. I think the grade is awful. This book is so hard to get in high grade, and I cannot find a damn thing wrong with it. Now, I can send it back in for a press with CGC, and then they will regrade the book. And I'm tempted to do it. Because honestly, in this book, a 9.4 to a 9.6 doesn't make a difference to me. So you see that Spawn issue right there, the third one, Spawn 100? CGC will repress and resubmit your books that are signature verified. You will not lose the verification. They'll keep it for you. They literally, as long as they get the book in the CGC case and they crack it out, they'll press it and then they will resubmit it for you, and you can get another shot at whatever grade you hoped it would get. All right, so let's talk some slabs. These are the current X-Men books that I have slabbed. Way more to come in the future, but this is what I have right now. This is X-Men issue 11. If you ever see this book out, it is the silver pressman variant. It is very rare, very hard to get in high grade. I won a 9.8 one day. You had to send a mailer out with the Pressman board game to get this copy of this book. I found this in a pawn shop one day, I think for maybe $10. It was an absolute steal. This book in this condition is probably a $150 book, roughly. And then we have the number 11. This is the original classic Jim Lee cover, what the last book was based off of. We have an X-Men issue number 4. Fuck me. X-Men issue number 4, first appearance of Omega Red in a 9.8. We have a Deadpool, the Circle Chase. This is his first limited series in a 9.8. I really want one of these in a newsstand. I love red covers, I think. Because they're also very hard to get in high grade. We have a beautiful John Byrne 9.8. I know now they have a custom label for this. I was thinking about sending it out, but I don't know. Just so you know, when you want to reholder books at CGC, even if it's changing the label, they do not regrade that book. If the case, actually first they inspect the case, and then if the case doesn't show any signs of damage, then they just transfer the book over and they give you the same grade. Now, if the case does show signs of damage, I believe they do regrade the book. So just something to note. So I am thinking about sending this back in because they have a label that matches this exactly. I don't know. May or may not do it. This next one is my oldest X-Men comic. This is X-Men issue number 10. This is the first appearance of Kazar and the Savage Land. This is in a 4.5. This next book was in the 35 Shortboxed collection. X-Men 141, Days of Future Past, Part 1 in a 9.6. The custom label is gorgeous. I freaking love the custom. Label with these Claremont books. These are so awesome. These are so good. So, really happy with this. Pretty pricey book in this condition with Claremont's signature on it. I don't know. $700-800 maybe? I don't know. Whatever the prices are, just so you know, whatever the prices are, if I haven't mentioned this already in the video, if I figure out the price after while I'm editing this and I want to throw it on the screen, I'll pop it on the screen. But off the top of my head, I would say maybe this is like a $700 book. So this one right here, X-Men 129, first appearance of Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde. Pretty big book. This book got crazy high during the pandemic. Jesus. I don't know what the number was for this during the pandemic in this grade. Not nearly that anymore. But yeah, so this is a pretty decent book. Really, really enjoy it. This is probably close to a $1,000 book, maybe. I would say it's probably an $800 to $900 book. It's a guess. And then we have probably one of my favorite Into the Wild finds ever. Into the Wild. Then we have probably one of my favorite In the Wild finds ever. And there's a video on this. There's actually a video on most of these books, if you just go back and search the channel. This one is Estate Comic Gold, I think is the title of it. This is Iron Fist number 14, first appearance of Sabretooth, and a 7.5. This I found at, it's a great video. Go check it out. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what I paid for this. If you have, I will put it at the end of this video here. I'll put it at the end reel. Go check it out if you want to see how much money I paid for this. Maybe a $500 book, maybe. But pretty cool. definitely one of my favorites. That was my Mutant tour. Stay tuned, hit the notification bell so you guys know when I do CGC submissions, when a lot of these books are going to come back and get graded. Reminder to everybody, let your collection breathe. Pull the stuff out every once in a while, rummage through it, appreciate the stories, appreciate the art, enjoy your collection. With all that being said, that will do it for this episode on the Paper Chase channel. See you on the next page.